Welcome to Squadron ScaleWorkshop, and today we're in for quite a treat because we're going to be having a look at an early set of test shot sprues from Tamiya's forthcoming 1/48 scale F-14A Tomcat. Tamiya new releases of 48 scale aircraft are fairly few and far between recently. We have to go back 4 years to see their last release, which was their 48 scale IL-2 Sturmovik, and another 4 years before that since their previous release of the initial kit in their F-16 family. Prior to that, we were seeing kits every year or two, and there were some really nice releases too, including their 48 scale Dornier 335, Fieseler Storch, and also their P-47D family, all of which are acknowledged as the best of their type in 48 scale. These kits, right up to the IL-2, have had a number of things in common over the years. They're well detailed, they feature world-class surface texture, they're a dream to build due to a relatively simple parts breakdown and a relatively modest number of parts compared to some kits, and they're also very accurate. Another thing that these kits have in common is pretty much a lack of gimmicks. Whereas the 32nd scale series of Tamiya kits might feature full engine detail, removable panels, hinged control surfaces and so forth, the 48 scale kits tend to focus on getting the shape right, having an accurate outline, and being pretty straightforward to build. And these are some of the reasons that Tamiya have earned and maintained their reputation as a true builder's model company over the years. For that reason, we shouldn't be terribly surprised at what we do see and what we don't see in the sprues of this new Tamiya F-14A in 48 scale. The kit comprises a fairly modest 257 parts in light grey plastic for the airframe itself. There are another 116 parts covering the weapons over 2 sprues. The weapons are included in this kit, for a total number of parts of 373 in the box. There are also 5 screws, there are 2 washers, a number of polycaps, there are 2 decal sheets, one with the main markings and one with stencil markings and also weapon markings. And the aircraft itself represents an early F-14A without the TCS, so there's just the smaller bulge for the ALQ 100 under the nose. Well, that's the basics. Let's take a look at the contents. Here's one of the upper wing halves. The wings may be swept forward and swept back. Check out the beautiful detail where the flap meets the main upper wing part. The wings may move after assembly thanks to these toothed gears. Here's the lower wing section with its crisp, fine recessed panel detail, and the upper central fuselage section. The nose is split into port and starboard halves. The port half includes the option of having folded down crew steps and the crew ladder. Here are the 4 wing glove sections for both the open and closed options, and the large central lower fuselage piece. Detail here is gorgeous. One of the intakes. The fins are split into outside and inside sections. The wheels are all plastic, presented simply, but beautifully detailed. You won't need to replace these. Pylons, and also one of the pilot bodies. More ordnance. And wheel well detail, as well as gear doors. The main cockpit tub. Detail is built up on the side walls and consoles by separate panels. This should make painting a little easier. The detail is raised and crisp on all the cockpit parts. Decals will supplement the instrument panel. Flame holders, and other exhaust parts are all moulded in plastic. The two weapons sprues have a number of missiles that are split into forward and rear halves to allow different variants to be made. Screws, polycaps and washers are the only multimedia component. The clear parts are just beautiful. Protected here can be seen the windscreen and the opening canopy section. Looks like there's a lens for a TCS on there as a future release. The decal sheet offers 3 varied options, including an Iranian machine. Markings for the various weapons, as well as stencils. And in the production kit, there'll be a self-adhesive masking sticker. So there we have it, our guided tour of Tamiya's forthcoming 1/48 scale F-14A Tomcat. I should emphasise here again though that these are test shot sprues, so there may be some minor changes between now and release, but I think it's pretty close to what we'll be seeing on the hobby shop shelves in a couple of months. I should also repeat that the weapons sprues will be included with the basic kit. So that's a bit of a difference from what was originally announced at Shizuoka. But yes, the kit will definitely have the full weapon sets, those 2 sprues. Tamiya's 48 scale F-14A Tomcat features genuinely world-class surface textures, just beautifully restrained surface detail with the crisply recessed panel lines. Also a very good level of detail through the rest of the airframe. The number of parts is quite modest considering the complexity of the aircraft itself, and the options that are available in the way of being able to pose the wings both extended and swept by the use of the replaceable and different glove vein covers is, I think, very clever indeed. One of the issues that seems to have had a lot of airplay online over the last few months has been the absence of dropped flaps. For me, I don't see why anybody is surprised that the kit is presented in the way it is. It matches perfectly with the philosophy of Tamiya's releases over the last 10 or 20 years in 48 scale, where there's been a lack of gimmicks, a lack of movable control surfaces and those sorts of things. So it really fits in with Tamiya's philosophy as far as I can see. It also means that that Tamiya have had the option of being able to swing the wings, which they wouldn't have been able to do if the control surfaces were dropped. And if dropped control surfaces are really something you absolutely want, then you've already got the choice of the Hasegawa and Hobby Boss kits, both of which offer that option. For the rest of us though, or for anybody who wants to build one with the flaps up as well as one with the flaps down, then I think that Tamiya's kit is going to prove to be a very popular choice. We'll have more news about the release of this kit closer to release date. Well, thanks for joining us again on Squadron Scale Workshop. Until next time, it's bye for now.